Hey y'all, happy Saturday. Today I'm filming another video. Today we're gonna be comparing the Wet n Wild with the Veil Sunset Skin again, but building it up. I didn't build it up last time and I should have, but one of you guys asked if it builds up, and today's the perfect day to test that because I have some really bad, they're not that bad, but I've just been picking at them every single day. So we'll try to cover those up and see how well these foundations do. I'm in a little bit of a different setup here. I have pretty much most of my collection down here in front of me on the floor. But we'll do the same as last time with the Sunset Veil Skin on this side and the Hydrator on this side. And I guess even though I don't have any big blemishes on this side, we can still build this up and see how well it just covers in general. Also, I like to film in natural light whenever possible. It's super gray out today, so I'm just gonna show you, this is natural light and this is with the light. I just did my skincare recently, actually probably almost like 30-45 minutes or an hour ago. I don't know, some time ago now. So I'm gonna go in with the veil on this side and really try to build that area up. I'm in the shade 1G, and I'll do a quick swatch actually between this and the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. If you watched my last video, you will see this is literally a drugstore dupe of this $50 foundation. This is $5. It is identical between the coverage. This shade is better for me, and just with how it sets and everything. So I was really surprised. Okay, so this is the Veil one, the Veil Sunset Skin. You can see it's a little darker, more orangey. This is the Tinted Hydrator, which is like a really good match for me. So I'll spread them out just to kind of see there you go. I could also make the Sunset Veil Skin Foundation work, but I prefer the Tinted Hydrator one by a lot. Let's go in this side with the Veil Sunset Skin, and I probably call these foundation names wrong all the time, but you get it, you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm gonna just do, I usually actually do one pump for the whole face, and I just did almost a pump for the half of the face. So we're going straight in to see how well it builds. My beauty sponge is not fully wet, damp. It is a little bit, but not all the way. And actually, I'm gonna go in with the second layer with a brush because I think like going in with the sponge really took that coverage off. So I'll go in with the brush and see how much coverage we can get more with the brush. Okay, but you can see with the one layer, like the difference. So it just completely like evens everything out and just looks amazing. The brush I'm gonna go in with is this by Tarte. It's their Found Sealer brush. I've been looking for a foundation brush for a while, and from all the ones that I've tried, this is by far the only one that I found that actually is not streaky and actually like helps the foundation look better. So I don't even want to build it up because I just love how that looks, but for you I will. I'm gonna do a whole pump, like another entire pump, and then I'm gonna focus it right here. I'm gonna let that sit while, and then I'm not gonna put concealer on since I'm putting so much foundation on. This is my first time building this, so I'm really actually curious because in the past when I tried to build foundations up, I found that most don't really add anything, because before this I always aimed to really cover up redness, but now I'm okay with like covering it up a little bit. So anyways, let's see. I think that did really well. we'll see how that ends up. But as far as with the brush and everywhere else on the face, and I stipple, I always stipple because I feel like buffing just kind of move things around too much. But I think that definitely added a little bit of coverage. The more coverage I add, the more you could see the shade is off for me. And I love how it covered up the dark circles, the redness. So now let's go in here. I would say that did pretty well, actually. I wasn't sure how well it would cover up these red spots because they're pretty like textured too. And that did. I think if I leave it and then go in again with the sponge, let's see. Yeah, that didn't really take much coverage away. And then for the sake of building up, I'm gonna go in again just on that one spot as like a concealer. But if you have a good concealer, you could probably just do this with a concealer. Okay, and then while that's gonna sit, I'm gonna go in on the other side with the Tinted Hydrator and also gonna build this one up. I'll do the same with first layer being with a sponge and then second layer being with a brush. Okay, now you can see really the shade difference. This is 1G, this is, I believe this is shade Fair. I don't think I've mentioned that. Okay, and I'm gonna go in with one more layer with the brush this time. That's a lot, that feels like so much. They both feel weightless. I mentioned in my last video that I felt like this one kind of felt, the Tinted Hydrator felt a tad bit heavier, but I don't feel that anymore. So I think maybe that was something else. Okay, that top one, you can like almost not see it. And then the bottom one, you can see it a tiny bit, but that's like a really chunky blemish. Okay, but I think we have our answer for the Sunset Veil one, that it definitely builds. And it builds really nicely. It doesn't look, so does this one. Oh my goodness. The Wet n Wild one definitely has a little bit more dew, but it also sets really not matte. I mean, it's matte when it sets down, but it's not like drying or cakey or any, like, not that kind of matte. Okay, so this one I would say with building up, I wanted to say it looks a little bit more cakey than the Sunset Veil one, because with the Sunset Veil one, even with a whole nother layer, it still looks almost the same as it does without building it up. Dang, I'm so impressed. Even with building it up, it sits so beautifully on the skin. The Tinted Hydrator, I would say, I think I wouldn't build it up. I don't like the look of that. I would rather use like the Kosas foundation, something with higher coverage to begin with. But I'm gonna go back like I did with this one and just kind of pat it out, because maybe that's what's making it look cakey. But I'm glad I went ahead and built these up to really see, because even this being built up reminds me a lot of Purito. So maybe I'll do a side-by-side with, I have Purito number 13, and then I'll do this Wet n Wild one. Even being built up, it doesn't look like, yeah, it's a little bit, I would say it's like a tiny bit more cakier than the Sunset Veil Skin Foundation, but it looks nothing like other foundations I've tried in the past. Like, I've tried one that I really didn't like was the, oh my gosh, why can I not think of it? It was the It Cosmetics foundation. The one that comes in a pump, not the CC cream, but they have the other one. And I tried it in multiple shades and it just always looked cake and dry. among like literally probably close to like 75 other foundations I've tried that like had coverage but always looked really bad and cakey. Both of these, with all the coverage that they add, like they both feel this, like maybe this one needs a minute to set. I do think that this one feels it. It's such a small difference, but maybe this one does feel like the tiniest bit more lightweight on the skin, especially with building it up. It felt nothing extra building it up either. But I'm just like so impressed, because even with building it up, there's not like my forehead lines aren't like, nothing's piling up in there. Nothing's really piling up in my smile lines, and that happens with any foundation without building up. Dang, I am so impressed. I cannot get over these because, first of all, huge price difference, identical foundations almost, and you can build them up, you can wear them sheer, you can have light coverage, you can have, I guess, medium coverage. I don't know what full coverage would look like. I don't think I've ever used anything full coverage before. And one is affordable, one is a little bit more high-end if that's what you prefer. They both set. I'm gonna give them a little bit more time to set with the extra coverage, but like this one already set like 99%. There's like a teeny tiny bit of like wetness around the perimeter of the face. I am just blown away. You guys have no idea. I've tried so many freaking foundations. I have tried so many of them, and they all looked awful. And I went and bought Chantecaille because I thought it would be more skin-like. And yeah, I tried so many, and I almost gave up. I was like, I don't think, maybe foundation is just, it's makeup. Like, what am I looking for? Why am I expecting it to look so skin-like? And then, ta-da! These are amazing. Okay, moving on. I usually have a rag with me, and now I feel so lost without a rag. But I quickly wanted to show you. I don't know how well you could see. This is the dried Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, and this is fresh. So you could see how it dries. And it's a little bit like, I guess, oxidizes a teeny tiny bit. Same with this one, I think oxidizes less, but you could still see it, how a tiny bit it darkens. Next, I'm gonna try to go quickly in with the rest of my face. And I'm gonna go in with like the randomized look, where I'm gonna pick random numbers for all the different categories for the face. Especially, that's my favorite to do with eyeshadow and everything else. So yeah, let's get into the rest of the face now. First I'm gonna start with this, I really like this nude shade for just a transition. Actually, not that one. I'm gonna go in with this one. I'm also honestly getting tired of my palettes because I only have like 4, and 2 of them are super, super old and 2 of them are newish from last year. But I just feel like would love a little bit more variety. I think what's going to be really interesting here is how well these foundations wear being built up, because I know like usually makeup will last a lot better when you use less of it. So next, this isn't by the random generator. I circled through a few numbers and I didn't like any of the shadows for today. So I actually kind of want to go in with like a small but fluffy brush with this Almay blush, because it's like a really bright pink, but I think it might be really pretty for a shadow. Yeah, actually I really like that. It's kind of it's very spring summery. I like it. It's nice and bright. And then I just want to go in with something really simple, like some kind of a satiny light color. Let's see. Those I have a lot of. I have this one in the Bella Pierre palette, just like almost like a highlight color. I really like this one from the Pacifica palette. That's like a face palette. Let's see. And then there's a few of these also in the other Pacifica palette. Like for example, I really like, there's this White Raven color, which is like really icy. Which one should I go with? There's this unicorn color that's kind of gold. I'm kind of tired of gold, but also maybe like something pink and satiny. Okay, I'm gonna run a few shades again and pick out which one. This is why I do the random generator, because I can never decide. Okay, so this is the first like pink shade in this palette. Okay, and then there's this one that's like a shade darker. That's super pretty. I think I'm gonna go in with the darker shade. Make it a pink look. Just go for it. Make it the look I'm going for. I think I really like that. It's just a pink look today. Let's see, for bronzer, I'm kind of feeling like I want to go in with this one from the Pacifica palette. I'll go in with my regular e.l.f. pointed brush. I love how natural this one is, and I feel like the tone of it suits my skin very well. But I really, really like this palette because this is a great bronzer for me, great blush, and then I love this all over the lid and this like inner corner. And I can, like, if I need to go, like if I need this makeup for traveling or anything, this is like super easy, one palette and you're packed. Let's see, I think for the blush I'm gonna go in with this Almay like nude palette, same brush. I love the pink undertone in this blush. I think I want some more pink on there. It's my favorite liquid, or it's my favorite cream blush that I have. I feel like it adds the perfect bit of pinkness to my cheeks, and it blends like magic. You don't have to do any blending, you just apply it and it's good. And this is in the shade Kindness. I think it's their lightest one, or like the most peachy one at least. I love the eye look today. I love it. I want more pink blush. Maybe I'll go in with some of this pink blush from Almay. I don't know, I'm just digging the pink today. There we go. I added a nice flush of pink. Watch me go crazy overboard and then regret all this. Also, actually still gonna go in with more bronzer and then I'll pat everything out. Let's see. I want something neutral and dark. I don't really have anything neutral and dark. All my dark shades are pretty red toned. This one is pretty dark. Let's see. I also have this Danessa Myricks, but that comes off, like, I would love this on my face right now, but that comes off really warm on my skin, actually, on my face. It's a cream, but you could see, like, once it's blended out, maybe that'll even some things out for me. Let me try. That's pretty good. I think that gave me the depth I was looking for. Guys, this is super heavy for me with the makeup today. So heavy, but it's okay. It's a Saturday, and well, it doesn't matter what day it is. I don't really care if I'm extra glam. Yeah, I like that. I like the extra bit of depthness on the bottom there. I actually was thinking about trying the Salt New York because I don't usually contour. I kind of like bronze where I contour, but I know that's like not what you're supposed to do, obviously. But I don't have like any contour shades, so I might need to try the Salt New York one. I'm gonna go in with a sponge as I normally do and really blend out all the cheek stuff. I also have been debating on trying the Cosmetics blush in Baroque because it seemed like a really nice like blush and bronzer in one, but then like on some people it seemed really orangey, which I don't want. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I do need to end with, let's see, some liner and mascara. Okay, so I finished this look off with my 100% pure brown pencil eyeliner, and I got mascara all over my lids that I'll clean off later, but I tried the number 7 tubing mascara, and then on top of that I went in with Thrive, and then on top of that I went in with the Rare Beauty mascara. But the number 7 one doesn't really do anything and it just kind of sucks. So I'm gonna keep trying it. I'm gonna try it a couple more times and see if it's any good. I mean, I was trying to find something to substitute the Thrive one, but it doesn't compare at all. There's no volume or anything. And it's not one that I would ever wear on its own. Like Thrive, I can totally layer a couple times and wear on its own, and it's really nice. The number 7 one, I would never be able to do that. It's just like, it doesn't really do a whole lot, and it just makes your like lashes very separated and long, but that's it. And it like makes you look like you have 3 lashes. But everything else actually turned out okay. It's not too as heavy as it looked initially. And then for the lips, we're gonna finish this look off with this Henne, I think that's how you say the brand, like the Henne Lip Balms in the shade Azalea. I figure since we have I have pink eyes on today, might as well go in with the pink look. And this will probably fade. You know, it's a lip balm, so after eating or drinking, but I don't mind that. These are like very non-toxic and super balmy, and sit on your lips super well. Like they don't cling to any dry patches or anything. Like, but the Honest lip balms that I have, obviously those are like drugstore. They're like $8 or $9, and they cling to they sit on like every dry patch on my lips. But these ones don't. They just glide on. They make your lips look super hydrated. They are pricey. I got every shade of these though during the Black Friday sale last year. But yeah, this is the look, and I hope that was helpful to see how these 2 different foundations build. I will say that I looked up closer in a mirror in different lighting, and I am starting to see a tiny bit, like the slightest amount of like things going into the smile lines and all that, that I would normally see from like the Purito foundation that's already heavier coverage. But other than that, like I can't believe how well it covered that spot right there and most of that spot. So yeah, in general, you can build them up, you can wear them sheer. They're both really good. They're both skin-like, even with building up. I'll show you in, let's see. Oh gosh. So this is like just upright in front of a window. You could see still how skin-like everything is, even in the smile lines. Like I keep talking about the smile lines because it's kind of the place that I worry most when it comes to foundation, but even then it still looks really good. So anyway, I hope this was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I decided to do a clip at the end of the day before I take my makeup off. Since this was pretty built up, I wanted you to be able to see like really how it held up. So how it held up really reminds me of really any other foundation I used to wear in the past, which is not that great. Like it's really separate, or like wearing off around my mouth on both sides. It's looking really cakey. It's doing that thing under my eyes that like the Sephora Clean foundation did and the Rare Beauty foundation did, where it looks like the like the liquid portion of the foundation evaporated and I'm left with like the pigment. You can see like my under eyes are looking pretty dark now. I don't have any concealer on today, but at the beginning of the day, the foundation covered that pretty well. It definitely took a lot longer to set, even though like normally with one layer, both of these foundations set. But today, both of them took a long time to set since I put like full 2 layers on. And then still, I didn't powder, which it looks fine for not powdering. It's not really oily and the cheeks are mostly set. But like areas like my forehead and my chin, I can feel it's a little tacky and there's some transfer. We were carrying a bean bag and I kind of like squished on my face on accident, and the foundation transferred onto the bean bag. But overall, I don't recommend building either of these up. I think they look stunning with 1 layer, and with 2 layers, they don't look the same skin-like. Like even in my forehead, you can see when I don't bunch my forehead up, you can see all the texture. Dang, that's you can see how much it separated and broke up right there. That looks pretty awful. And then you can see the lines in my forehead. At the beginning, when I layered them, or when I put 2 layers on, it looked really nice. But as it wore, I don't recommend layering these foundations. They look stunning with just 1 layer. They look super skin-like and hold the same all day. But with 2 layers, it really starts to behave like any other foundation does, where it just gets cakey, it wears off. So anyway, I hope that helps. I want to do a comparison between one of these layered compared with the Purito, because I feel like this coverage layer is super simple to the Purito one with just 1 layer, because maybe that one will hold up better being like a higher coverage foundation. But for now, I hope that helps. If you need more coverage, if you still want to get this foundation, or if there's another higher coverage foundation that's going to work better for you. But yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.